He got the RI in his car and he asked me to just try it out at some good speeds. I tried the helmet at some good speeds of over 250 kilometers per hour, and I was just blown away with how confident and stable I felt with the helmet. I also have another jacket from TBG Night all-weather jacket. So it's got a mesh, it's got thermal liner and waterproof liner, which comes in the pocket which is on the back side of the jacket. Yep, and I'm using the Alpinster SMX6 version 2 boots. I also have another Dainese leather jacket. Whatever motorcycle you have, it doesn't matter. If you're investing so much on your motorcycle, you know, invest on good safety gear also. Finally just tanked up the motorcycle. A super fun ride today. It's a different sort of a one to, you know, keep up with the super sport motorcycles, pushing this motorcycle to its limit. That's Mujahid, my buddy, on the... So I'll talk a bit about my riding gear now. I'm using the RI RX7V. It's a track focused helmet from RI. Previously I was using a lot of other, I've had the Shoei RF1200, I've had AGV Pista GPRR, I've had the Quebec Drift Evo, and yep, the RI is something initially I was not a fan of what it looks like. I mean, it's very round and it looked a bit plain. It did not look very sharp in the design, so I was not very keen on them. But until one day my friend said you should try the RI. He got the RI in his car and he asked me to just try it out at some good speeds. I tried the helmet at some good speeds of over 250 kilometers per hour, and I was just blown away with how confident and stable I felt with the helmet. So I was just sold. After that I was like, even though I didn't like the look so much, I was sold and I was like, RI is the one. And I did a lot of research about it before I just got it. The RIs are, you know, world-class products, one of the best in terms of safety. There were some videos which I came across on how they test the RI helmets. I mean, it was another level. I mean, RI does not believe in making fancy looking helmets, you know, sharp designs and all that. They make the safest helmets. They're also not the lightest helmets. Okay, they're not made of carbon fiber or anything. They believe in making the safest helmets and the strongest helmets, not necessarily light. Now again, it's not like you will feel the weight when you are wearing it as much. Nothing that bothers you in any way. The carbon fiber helmets of course feel very light. When you hold them in your hand, they feel light. Yeah, of course you will feel hardly any weight on the head as well, but nothing like this weight disturbs you in any way of the RI. This is what, about 1550 grams or so, and I don't feel any issue with regard the weight of the helmet. It is quite, I mean, it inspires a lot of confidence, and these are very safe helmets. So this is the RX7V. It is a bit noisy when I'm sitting upright. Now I got this mainly for the RSV4 and my RS457. So in that crouched out position, it is one of the best helmets. Even though it's a track focused helmet, the RX7V, it has some good slots for intercom, and yeah, it's very loud and clear inside. But again, this is a track focused helmet, like as I said. When you're in that super sport position, when you crouch down, it's a lot more silent. The moment I do this, I'm in this position, it's very silent. The moment I sit upright, it is a bit noisy. And somehow today I forgot to even get my earplugs, so it was quite noisy. I mean, it is a track helmet, as I said, and it is very good in that super sport stance. but in the upright stance maybe I'll have to look at some sport touring helmets. I was considering the Shoei Air GT or probably an Arai sport touring helmet. Suggestions are welcome, guys. I want something that is not so noisy in that upright position. Yep, and I'm wearing the mesh jacket from Shima. I mainly got this for my daily use because it is quite light and it's got level 2 armors also, and even with all these armors it feels pretty light and easy to use for daily commuting. And since it is so hot today, the summer is almost here, so this jacket feels very good. There's a lot of breeze going in. I also have another jacket from TBG Night all-weather jacket. So it's got a mesh, it's got thermal liner and waterproof liner, which comes in the pocket which is on the back side of the jacket, and you can remove it and wear on top of the jacket. Now TBG was one of the first ones to launch something like that in the Indian market. A lot of others followed and got in the similar feature where you have an external rain liner in the back pocket. I mean, it's very good for sport touring. That even gets carbon fiber sliders. This one doesn't get it, as you see. It doesn't have the carbon fiber slider. That's very good, you know, for the sport touring and all that. But the SASTEC level 2 armors were a bit heavy, so that makes the jacket feel a bit heavy. Apart from that, it is a very good jacket. This one mainly I felt it is light, and the armors, even though they're level 2, they're quite light, which is why I went ahead and got this. I also have another Dainese leather jacket, which is obviously safer because it's all leather and it's got the sliders and all that, but it can't take this kind of heat, man. It is too hot. It is way too hot now. Summer is almost here. But obviously leather jackets are a lot safer if you're looking to ride fast on the track or on a super sport motorcycle, or not necessarily super sport, even if you're riding sport touring motorcycles, and if you're looking to good speeds, it's always good to have leather jackets, or even full suits for that matter. They are a lot safer. But in hot summers it's gonna drain you. Yep, and I'm using the Alpinster SMX6 version 2 boots, which are very comfortable. These are sport touring boots. These are very comfortable. I have used them on track as well, and they are very good for sport touring. They were very comfortable to walk around as well. Even if I'm doing a little bit of trekking, it is quite comfortable to walk around with. I had the Alpinster SMX6 earlier, and then I got the Forma Ice Pro boots. Now Forma Ice Pro is a proper track boot, so somehow it was not very suitable for my needs. It was very stiff and it made it really uncomfortable to walk around, so I decided to sell that off and looked at the Alpinster SMX6 again, and then I got the version 2, and it had come new at that time. So yep, it feels so comfortable and so good. I can walk around comfortably with this. Guys, please invest on good riding gear. If you're investing, whatever motorcycle you have, it doesn't matter. If you're investing so much on your motorcycle, you know, invest on good safety gear also. I mean, in various budgets there are a lot of good options available. Get something with at least level 2 armors, I would suggest. I mean, it's better to have a level 1 jacket than not having any riding jacket at all. But if you can stretch and get the level 2, get the level 2. The riding pant that I wear is a Biker-RT that's got internal slot where there is again level 2 armors inside. I think those are D3O armors inside. So that's again a good option. The thing with knee guards, there are a lot of knee guards also available in the market, but those knee guards, you know, somehow they keep sliding off if it's not fit properly. There could be good ones, but then I've not had a very good experience with them, so I prefer those internal knee protection which comes integrated inside the riding jeans. So I'm using the Biker-RT, which looks cool. It looks like a jeans with D3O armors inside. Also, I'm using these Shima gloves, which are quite comfortable. I think they were priced around 9,500 when I bought them. They are value for money. I mean, compared to the Dainese and Alpensters, these feel very good and they are value for money. They're decent for track use as well. You see this? It's the little finger and the ring finger is connected to each other, so that the little finger does not snap off. I mean, if the crash is too bad, it can still snap. But yeah, this little finger is something that always comes in contact, right, when you fall down this way. Somehow it is connected to the ring finger so that the little finger doesn't snap off. And yeah, the leather quality feels good. It feels nice. I mean, there are a lot of affordable brands, Indian brands also available. But again, it's not necessary that we spend and invest on very expensive gears. There is a difference, guys. There's always a difference. When you pay a premium, you also get really good quality gear. I mean, the leather is a lot better, and a lot of R&D goes into making these riding gears. Yep, it was a good fun ride today. The bike felt really good at high speeds. Doing those 240s, 250s, keeping up with the Super Sport, it was fun. I mean, this bike has a lot of mid-range. Those bikes have really good top end. So anything beyond 230, it will not pull like the Super Sports. But then mid-range is very strong. Initial, not so much, not like the adventure motorcycles. So mid-range is where this is the strongest, the XR. The Super Sports, of course, because of that crouch down position and low travel suspensions, they feel very planted at high speeds, and you can literally point them in a direction and the bike will just go. This one, you'll need a little more effort to turn the bike around, but yeah, it's very good. Among the touring motorcycles, this is one of the best, the way this just turns and handles. But yeah, compared to the Super Sports, since this has long travel suspension, they'll also feel a bit wobbly when you're doing that 230 plus kilometers per hour. You feel that the front end is slightly, shaking. It's slightly wobbly, but then nothing in a way that makes me feel uncomfortable or feel less confident. I know that it is shaking, but the suspensions are doing its job, and also the steering dampener is doing its job. It will stabilize the motorcycle. So yeah, that's something you will not feel on a Super Sport at all. The Super Sport is going to be so planted. This one feels a bit wobbly. So this is like, a mix of both. If you want something that is the best of both worlds, which is the power of a Super Sport, the engine from a Super Sport inline 4-cylinder, and you want the comfort of an adventure motorcycle, this offers good blend. This one is a very good hybrid that way. But then if you're looking to do those short breakfast rides, or you're looking to do track, any day Super Sports are always better. If you can have a Super Sport motorcycle and an adventure motorcycle, that's a really good combination. But if you feel you're done with that Super Sport stance and you want some motorcycle that can do good speeds comfortably, the XR is a very good option that way. Most of the guys that I've seen who are buying the S1000 XR are guys who have had Super Sports for some time. They want to settle with something that's got a comfortable ergonomics yet fast. The XR is that kind of bike, and mostly it is these guys who ride the XR. Those guys, who want to do some good speeds, highway touring, not too much of bad roads. It is not an off-roader. It's not too good at off-roads because the ground clearance is pretty bad, and this gets 17-inch wheels, which shows what it is meant for. It's meant for road riding. Yeah, if you're looking to tour, you're upgrading from naked or sport tourers, and you want an upright stance, for you guys also it's a good option. It's so sophisticated, the BMWs. The tech that they offer is next level. The instrument console is so good. The braking is so good. I mean, I've had instances where I'm doing 240s, 250s, and I've had to brake hard. Normally for An adventure motorcycle, you will feel that the suspension dive would be too much when you brake hard and you might not feel so confident. This one, it stops so well. The braking is already really good. It's got Brembos in the front now. This is a 2023 variant that came with the Brembo calipers. The 2022 and prior to 22, those models got the BMW caliper. That's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the videos. Please like, share and subscribe, and please show some love in the comment section. I'll try to make a lot of informative content, and obviously I'll make more videos on a lot of motorcycles that I'll have access to at NAFS Motors. Goodbye for now. See you next time. Ciao.